Life is a marathon, not a race, because real growth, meaning, and fulfillment are never built in a hurry. Yet most people live as if they are constantly late, as if success has an expiration date, as if slowing down means failure. From a young age, we are taught to compare timelines, achievements, and milestones. Who finished first? Who earned more? Who reached the next stage sooner? This mindset creates pressure, anxiety, and dissatisfaction because it treats life as a competition instead of a journey. When you believe life is a race, every pause feels like falling behind, every delay feels like a loss, and every setback feels permanent. But when you understand life as a marathon, everything changes. Pace becomes more important than speed. Consistency becomes more valuable than intensity. And endurance becomes the real measure of strength. A marathon requires patience, strategy, and self-awareness. You cannot sprint the entire distance and expect to finish strong. Those who start too fast often burn out early. The same is true in life. People who rush success, chase shortcuts, or demand instant results often exhaust themselves emotionally and mentally. They may achieve something quickly, but without foundation, that achievement rarely lasts. Life rewards those who know when to push and when to slow down, when to rest and when to persist. Understanding this allows you to stop panicking about where you are and start focusing on how you are moving forward. One of the hardest lessons in life is accepting that progress is uneven. Some years feel productive, others feel stagnant. Some seasons bring growth, others bring confusion. When you see life as a race, these slow periods feel unacceptable. You judge yourself harshly for not advancing fast enough. But in a marathon, slow miles are expected. They are part of the process. Rest days are not failures. They are necessary for recovery. In life, periods of rest, reflection, and recalibration are just as important as periods of action. Without them, burnout is inevitable. Comparing your journey to others is another trap created by the race mentality. Everyone starts from a different place with different advantages, challenges, and responsibilities. Some people appear ahead because they had support, resources, or opportunities you did not. Others may seem behind, but are building something quietly and steadily. When you compare timelines, you ignore context. You judge yourself using someone else's circumstances. This comparison creates unnecessary pressure and steals joy from your own progress. A marathon is run against yourself, not against others. The only meaningful comparison is who you are today versus who you were yesterday. Life being a marathon also means that setbacks are not the end. In a race mindset, falling behind feels fatal. In a marathon mindset, setbacks are expected. Injuries happen. Weather changes. Energy fluctuates. What matters is not avoiding difficulty, but learning how to continue despite it. Resilience is built through persistence, not perfection. Every challenge you survive adds strength to your character. Every obstacle teaches you something valuable. When you stop seeing setbacks as proof of failure and start seeing them as part of the distance, you become mentally stronger. Another important truth is that sustainable success requires pacing. You cannot give 100% every single day and expect to last. Life demands balance. There are times to push hard and times to slow down. Ignoring this leads to exhaustion and resentment. Many people quit not because they are incapable, but because they tried to live at an unsustainable speed. They chased constant productivity without rest, ambition without alignment. A marathon mindset respects limits. It understands that rest is not laziness. It is preparation. Slowing down does not mean quitting. It means preserving energy for the long run. Life as a marathon also teaches humility. No matter how prepared you are, unexpected challenges will arise. Control is limited. You cannot plan every outcome or avoid every difficulty. Accepting this reduces frustration. Instead of fighting reality, you adapt to it. Adaptability is one of the most valuable skills in life. Those who last are not always the strongest or the fastest, but the most flexible. They adjust expectations, modify strategies, and continue moving forward without losing hope. Endurance matters more than intensity. Intensity looks impressive at the start, but endurance determines who finishes. In life, showing up consistently, even with small effort, matters more than rare bursts of motivation. Daily habits, repeated actions, and steady commitment shape outcomes over time. This is why discipline outperforms motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline keeps you moving even when you feel tired, bored, or discouraged. A marathon mindset values discipline because it understands that long-term progress is built quietly. When you accept that life is not a race, you also learn to appreciate the present. Racing through life often means missing it. You are so focused on the next milestone that you forget to experience where you are. Moments pass unnoticed. Relationships suffer. Joy feels delayed. A marathon mindset encourages presence. You understand that the journey itself matters, not just the destination. This presence creates gratitude. You learn to value progress instead of perfection, effort instead of outcome. Finally, seeing life as a marathon gives you permission to move at your own pace. You stop apologizing for taking time. You stop explaining your timeline. You trust that steady progress will get you where you need to go. This trust reduces anxiety and increases confidence. You are no longer rushed by others' expectations. You are guided by your own direction. And that is where real peace begins. When you truly accept that life is a marathon and not a race, patience stops feeling like weakness and starts feeling like wisdom. Patience is not passive waiting. It is active endurance. It is the ability to keep moving forward without demanding immediate rewards. In a race mindset, impatience dominates. You want results now, recognition now, clarity now. But life does not operate on urgency. It operates on timing. Many important things take longer than expected, not because you are doing something wrong, but because depth requires time. A marathon mindset helps you stay committed even when progress is slow, because you understand that slow progress is still progress. Discipline becomes essential in the long run. In short races, motivation can carry you. In marathons, motivation fades and discipline takes over. Life is no different. You will not always feel inspired. Some days you will feel tired, doubtful, or disconnected from your goals. A race mindset treats these days as excuses to quit. A marathon mindset treats them as normal. You show up anyway. You take the next step, even if it is smaller than usual. This consistency builds trust in yourself. Over time, that trust becomes confidence. You know that even when things are hard, you won't abandon yourself. Long-term consistency also changes how you measure success. Instead of asking, "How fast am I moving?" you ask, "Am I still moving?" This question is powerful because it removes unnecessary pressure. It allows you to adjust pace without losing direction. In life, there will be periods when you can push harder and periods when you must slow down due to health, family, finances, or emotional strain. A marathon mindset accepts these changes without guilt. You do not quit the journey just because you had to slow down. You understand that pacing yourself is what allows you to continue. Another important shift is learning to stop chasing external timelines. Society constantly promotes deadlines for success. Achieve this by a certain age, reach that milestone by a certain year. These timelines create anxiety and make people feel behind, even when they are doing fine. A marathon mindset rejects artificial deadlines. You focus on alignment instead of speed. Are your actions aligned with your values? Are you building something sustainable? These questions matter more than how quickly others are progressing. Life is deeply personal, and your timeline does not need to match anyone else's to be valid. Patience also helps you develop emotional resilience. When life feels slow or uncertain, frustration often comes from unmet expectations. You expected things to move faster, to be easier, to make more sense. A marathon mindset softens expectations. You understand that confusion and delay are part of growth. This understanding reduces emotional volatility. You are less likely to panic, make impulsive decisions, or abandon long-term goals for short-term relief. Emotional resilience allows you to endure discomfort without losing direction. Another key lesson of the marathon mindset is learning to conserve energy. In a race mindset, people often give everything at once. They work non-stop, ignore rest, and push beyond healthy limits. This may work briefly, but it leads to burnout. Burnout is one of the biggest reasons people quit meaningful pursuits. A marathon mindset respects energy. You learn when to push and when to recover. Recovery is not wasted time. It is part of preparation. Rest allows you to return stronger, clearer, and more focused. Without recovery, effort becomes self-destructive. Life also tests commitment through boredom. Not every phase is exciting. Many days are repetitive and unremarkable. In a race mindset, boredom feels like failure. You assume that if it's not exciting, it's not working. In a marathon mindset, boredom is expected. You understand that repetition builds mastery. You continue showing up even when the process feels dull. This ability to persist through boredom is rare, and it separates those who finish from those who quit. Consistency during boring phases often leads to breakthroughs later. Another important aspect of the marathon mindset is learning to redefine winning. Winning is not arriving first. It is finishing with your integrity intact. It is living a life that feels meaningful to you, not impressive to others. When you stop racing, you stop chasing validation. You focus on fulfillment. Fulfillment comes from growth, contribution, and alignment, not comparison. This shift reduces envy and resentment. You become less concerned with what others are doing and more invested in what you are building. Life as a marathon also teaches acceptance. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means acknowledging reality so you can work with it. You accept your strengths and limitations. You accept that progress will not be linear. You accept that setbacks do not erase effort. This acceptance creates mental clarity. Instead of fighting what is, you focus on what you can control. Control your effort, your attitude, and your choices. Let go of what you cannot control. This balance creates peace. As patience, discipline, and consistency deepen, you begin to trust the long-term process. You stop needing constant reassurance that things will work out. You understand that staying committed increases the likelihood of success. This trust reduces anxiety. You are no longer racing against time. You are moving with it. This alignment creates calm confidence. You are not frantic or desperate. You are steady. Ultimately, the marathon mindset transforms how you experience effort. Effort no longer feels like punishment. It feels purposeful. You are not exhausting yourself to prove something. You are investing energy wisely over time. This sustainable effort leads to lasting results. When success comes, it is not overwhelming because you prepared for it gradually. And when challenges arise, you are not shocked because endurance has already been built. Life does not reward speed as much as it rewards persistence. Those who keep going, adjusting pace, but never quitting are the ones who reach meaningful destinations. Understanding this allows you to stop rushing and start trusting. You are not late. You are on your way. Understanding that life is a marathon, not a race, changes how you experience setbacks. In a race mindset, setbacks feel like proof that you are failing or falling behind. You panic, compare yourself to others, and question your ability. But in a marathon mindset, setbacks are expected. No long journey is smooth from start to finish. There will be moments of fatigue, wrong turns, unexpected obstacles, and emotional lows. These moments are not signs that you should stop. They are signs that you are moving through something real. Learning to interpret setbacks correctly is one of the most important mental skills you can develop. Setbacks test your relationship with yourself. When things go wrong, do you abandon yourself or do you stay present and supportive? A marathon mindset encourages self-compassion. Instead of harsh self-judgment, you respond with curiosity. What can I learn from this? How can I adjust? This approach keeps you engaged rather than discouraged. Harshness drains energy while compassion restores it. The ability to recover emotionally from setbacks determines whether you continue or quit. Those who last are not those who avoid difficulty, but those who recover effectively. Life setbacks often arrive without warning. Plans change, people leave, health fluctuates, opportunities disappear. In a race mindset, these disruptions feel catastrophic because they interrupt your schedule. In a marathon mindset, disruption is part of the terrain. You adapt your pace, reroute if necessary, and keep moving. This adaptability is a form of strength. It allows you to respond rather than react. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you ask, "What does this require of me now?" This shift keeps you grounded and solution-oriented. Another critical element of the marathon mindset is learning to trust yourself over time. Trust is built through experience, not optimism. Each time you survive a difficult phase, you gather evidence that you can handle uncertainty. This evidence matters. It reduces fear in future challenges because you have proof that you can endure. Race-minded living often erodes self-trust because it treats every difficulty as a threat. Marathon-minded living builds self-trust by treating difficulty as training. The more you persist, the more capable you feel. Setbacks also reveal priorities. When life slows you down, you see what truly matters. You realize which goals are essential and which were driven by ego or comparison. This clarity is valuable. It allows you to let go of pursuits that no longer serve you and redirect energy toward what does. A marathon mindset allows for re-evaluation without guilt. Changing direction is not quitting. It is choosing a path that aligns better with who you are becoming. Mental strength develops gradually in the long run. It is not built through constant success, but through navigating challenge without losing yourself. A marathon mindset encourages emotional regulation. You learn not to overreact to highs or lows. You maintain balance. This stability is important because emotional extremes drain energy. When you can remain steady, you conserve strength for the distance ahead. Stability does not mean suppressing emotions. It means allowing them without letting them control your actions. Another important lesson is learning to be comfortable with uncertainty. Life rarely provides complete clarity. Often you must move forward without knowing exactly how things will turn out. In a race mindset, uncertainty feels paralyzing because you want guarantees before acting. In a marathon mindset, uncertainty is accepted. You move forward anyway, trusting your ability to adapt. This courage allows progress even when confidence is incomplete. You do not need perfect certainty to continue, you need willingness. Self-trust also grows through keeping promises to yourself. Small commitments matter. When you say you will show up, rest when needed, or try again after failure, and you actually do it, trust strengthens. These small acts of reliability accumulate. Over time, you become someone you can depend on. This internal reliability is more important than external validation. It provides a stable foundation that does not collapse under pressure. Life's long journey also teaches humility. You realize that no one has everything figured out. Everyone struggles, doubts, and adjusts. This realization reduces comparison. You tell yourself a more honest story. Growth is messy, non-linear, and deeply human. Accepting this reduces shame. You stop feeling defective for not having everything together. Instead, you feel connected to the shared experience of being human. This connection provides comfort and perspective. A marathon mindset also encourages long-term thinking. Instead of asking, "What feels good right now?" you ask, What supports me over time? This perspective influences choices about health, relationships, work, and habits. You invest in things that grow slowly but last. You avoid shortcuts that promise quick results but create long-term costs. This discernment protects your future self. As mental strength grows, fear loses its control. Fear does not disappear, but it no longer dictates decisions. You understand that fear is often a signal of uncertainty, not danger. You learn to carry fear without letting it stop you. This courage is quiet and steady. It does not rush, it persists. Persistence is what transforms effort into progress. In the marathon of life, finishing does not mean reaching a single destination. It means continuing to grow, adapt, and live with intention. Setbacks do not disqualify you. They refine you. Self-trust does not come from being perfect. It comes from staying engaged. And mental strength is not about being unbreakable. It is about being resilient. Understanding this allows you to move forward without panic. You stop treating every obstacle as a verdict and start seeing it as part of the path. You are not failing because it is hard. It is hard because it matters. And you are still moving. When you fully accept that life is a marathon and not a race, a deep sense of peace begins to replace urgency. You stop feeling like time is chasing you and start feeling like time is something you move with, not against. This shift changes how you experience your days. You no longer wake up with constant pressure to prove something. Instead, you focus on doing what matters consistently. Peace does not come from achieving everything quickly. It comes from knowing you are moving in the right direction at a pace you can sustain. This understanding removes the fear of being too late and replaces it with trust in your journey. A marathon mindset also changes how you define success. Success stops being a finish line and becomes a way of living. You begin to measure success by alignment rather than arrival. Are your actions aligned with your values? Are you taking care of your health, your relationships, and your mental well-being? Are you growing steadily, even if quietly? These questions matter more than speed or comparison. When success is defined this way, it becomes accessible every day. You no longer postpone fulfillment until some future milestone. Fulfillment is experienced in effort, not just outcome. Endurance also teaches gratitude. When you slow down enough to pace yourself, you begin to notice the small moments that racing causes you to miss. Conversations feel more meaningful. Progress feels more satisfying. You become grateful for effort itself because effort means you are alive and engaged. Gratitude reduces frustration because it shifts focus from what is missing to what is present. This shift improves emotional well-being and makes the journey feel worthwhile. A marathon mindset invites appreciation of the process, not just the result. Another powerful outcome of the marathon mindset is freedom from regret. Many regrets come from rushing decisions, neglecting important areas of life, or burning out chasing things that did not truly matter. When you live at a sustainable pace, you make choices more intentionally. You give yourself time to think, adjust, and grow. This intentionality reduces impulsive mistakes. Even when things do not work out, you are less likely to regret your efforts because you acted thoughtfully. Regret often comes from ignoring yourself. A marathon mindset encourages listening. Life as a marathon also deepens relationships. Racing through life leaves little room for connection. When everything feels urgent, people become distractions instead of companions. Slowing down allows presence. You listen more fully. You invest time without constantly watching the clock. Relationships grow stronger when they are not rushed. A marathon mindset values long-term connection over short-term convenience. This leads to deeper trust and shared experiences that last. Another important lesson is acceptance of imperfection. In a long journey, perfection is impossible. There will be missed opportunities, wrong turns, and unfinished goals. A marathon mindset accepts this without shame. You understand that imperfection does not invalidate effort. Progress is made through adjustment, not flawlessness. This acceptance reduces self-criticism and increases resilience. You are kinder to yourself because you recognize that growth is ongoing, not final. Endurance also creates wisdom. Wisdom is not information. It is understanding gained through experience. The longer you stay engaged with life, the more perspective you gain. You learn what matters and what does not. You become less reactive and more thoughtful. This wisdom helps you navigate future challenges with calmness. You are not easily shaken because you have seen difficulty before and survived it. This calm confidence is one of the greatest rewards of the marathon mindset. As you continue moving forward steadily, you also realize that life does not require constant intensity. Meaning is found in balance. You allow yourself to rest without guilt and to push without self-punishment. This balance preserves energy and prevents burnout. Many people quit not because they lack ability, but because they never allowed themselves to recover. A marathon mindset respects recovery as part of progress. You are not weak for resting. You are preparing to continue. Over time, this mindset reshapes your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is behind or struggling and start seeing yourself as someone who is persistent. Persistence becomes part of who you are. This identity is powerful because it supports you in future challenges. When things get hard, you do not question whether you should quit. You adjust and continue. This reliability builds deep self-respect. In the end, life as a marathon teaches you that there is no single moment where everything suddenly makes sense or feels complete. Meaning is built gradually through effort, reflection, and connection. You are not meant to rush through life to reach some imagined finish line. You are meant to live it fully, steadily, and honestly. When you stop racing, you stop missing your life. You are not late. You are not failing. You are simply moving at the pace required for your growth. Trust that pace. Protect your energy. Stay consistent. Life rewards those who endure, adapt, and remain engaged. The journey is long, but it is also rich. And when you learn to treat life as a marathon, not a race, you give yourself permission to last. And lasting is where fulfillment lives.